Welcome, everybody.
Children of change, stop the violence. Today, we touch on a subject. He says, interesting. I said, fuck that. It's going to be heated because I'm going one way, he's going to go another. But let me just give myself a quick introduction. This is Paul. Welcome you guys all the time. And my partner, co-host,
My name is Marcus.
guys, let me just get started with some of the good stuff that just hit the news today. As most of you may or may not know, Marcus, we just had a discussion about this a few moments ago. The Supreme Court ruled today they're going to keep Trump on the 2024 ballot. As most people know, Colorado had taken it to their Supreme Court, Colorado Supreme Court, to bar Trump for being on their ballots, which means that he would not be able to be voted. So that would be one state. There's several other states that were trying to do the same thing, but that one reached its way all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States. They came back and said, no, we're not going to do this. We don't think it's fair. They said, let's give you a quick history. They said, we all know January 6th, what most people call an insurrection. No one charged him with it. Since he had not been charged with it, you can't say, now we're going to say, well, he can't be on the ballot because he was an insurrectionist. So this is why the court came back with that. Now, fair or not fair? Let's hear your point, Marcus.
No. I gotta hear your point. You're the one who brought it up first.
Listen, my point,
What do you think?
honestly and truthfully, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Trump because of the simple fact of his not his political, but his personal thoughts. I'm not a fan of his. I think at the end of the day, if we say leave it to the people, we know what's going to happen. Trump's going to be sitting in office again. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
If the Supreme Court, we got to understand one thing. The Supreme Court is not supposed to be political, but the powers to be, which is the president, is the one who puts them into that seat. So, like it, lump it, believe it or not, they owe favors to somebody. So when the shit hits the fans like this, now Trump himself put what, 2, 3?
I think he put 3
on that seat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they were going to burn that because they all know
they owe him.
They owe him. And not only the fact that they owe him, it's that when all is said and done, we're going to have another President Trump. And they don't want to piss him off. So they're just like, fuck it. Give him what he wants. It's that simple. Okay. So, but now I need your opinion. What do you think, sir? Because I know you got it.
Me personally, I think a lot of people have their opinions about Trump and just the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, or just government in general.
Right.
Me personally, I think it was a good call what the Supreme Court did. Technically, he didn't set up the insurrection.
No, he didn't.
He was all for it, and he did encourage a lot of people, but he didn't technically set it up. I think that's why the court ruled that Trump could still be on the ballot, because technically he didn't do it.
No.
So I kind of agree with that aspect. Like, also, if you flip the roles, if, for example, like in the future, somebody else tries to run for president, and then some other political parties or other states don't like him for some other reason, and then they try to take him off the ballot because of, maybe something that he was related to, he or she related to, or something related to that. But they didn't technically do anything. Like, that would be messed up if somebody else in the future got held off the ballot because of something they didn't technically do or weren't even involved in. Like, so I agree with this in that aspect. But, like, I don't know. Like you said, there's a lot of politicians in the Supreme Court that were put in there by Trump or another political party or another president. And, well, human, we're going to feel indebted to whoever put us in the situation.
Yes, sir.
And I feel as though you're right. I feel as though there were a couple of politicians in the courts that felt as though, hey, Trump did help me out on this position.
Put
I
me
should,
here.
yeah, maybe I should return the favor. And they're appointed for, I think, life.
Life.
Yeah.
They don't lose that seat till they die.
Mm-hmm. So, like you said, I feel as though they seen or they felt like Trump has a good chance to become president again. They didn't want to risk getting on like the wrong toes, so they just let him. They agreed. They let him be back on the ballot and let the states that vote, let the people in each individual state vote whether they want Trump or not.
Right.
I mean, that's my stance on the matter.
Listen, me personally, like I said, I am not a Trump fan. I give the man his props of what he did and how he did it. I just personally, people are gonna call us out on this one because what I'm about to say, brother, I shouldn't be said. Mm-hmm. But my opinion, this man's gonna take the seat because he's running against Joe Biden. We've had 4 years of bullshit, total bullshit. Mm-hmm. We haven't gotten. People say, "Oh, he did this, he did that." No, he sent billions of dollars somewhere else while people in America are suffering. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's enough. So if come November, if there's a choice in the matter, Biden or Trump,
a lot of people are going to go Trump.
Here's the problem. People who are Democrats like myself are not going to change their choice. What they're going to do is decide that I'm not voting.
Oh yeah, that is
not going up to vote.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is all of Trump's people, the Republicans who back him, are going to come out in full force. So what's going to happen? We're going to see America. Remember when Trump ran the first time? America turned red. Shocked the fuck out of everybody. Me and my wife was sitting here watching this shit, bro. Blue, 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 red, red, red. State after state turned because Republicans were going out there. What's going to happen this time? Trump's going to do the same shit again. It's not, I still don't believe that shit was fixed. The Russians came in and fixed the shit, or the Chinese fixed it. I think Republicans thought he was the Superman. Yep. To change, which he did. He gave them what they wanted. He gave power, insurrections. He gave to them a chance. Let's say it the right way. He gave white people a chance to be white again. Because for the longest, whites in this country have become the minority. And that scared the fuck out of them. Trump said, you don't have to be a minority anymore. I got you. If you remember when Trump first came in, his first thing he did was started signing executive orders.
Yep.
Didn't give a fuck about nobody. You could say this, you could say that. I'm the president doing the fuck I want to do. Yep. That's my personal dislike of our Obama. Because I understand the first 4 years, he was trying to get reelected. But his last 4, let's say last 2, why the fuck he didn't go in there and do the same thing? Why did he start signing all these executive orders? Said fuck you. You're gonna try to impeach me? I'll be out of office by the time you get through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he could have.
But he didn't. So what's going to happen? I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Trump's going to win the election. His first executive orders, no more elections in America. I'm going to be lifelong president until the day I die. That's my prediction. Yours?
I don't think it's going to be that extreme, but I think he's definitely going to sign a lot of executive orders again. I honestly don't know in what context, one aspect of what he's going to do. What I think really cemented Trump getting a chance to come back is the inept and just utter disappointment that
yes, sir.
Biden and the Democrats have given us the last 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And it gets me a little frustrated that every 4 years is the same shit with both parties. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna
Promise.
help this people. I'm gonna help
Promise.
that people. And it's nonsense. It's completely
Promise.
nonsense, and that's what pushes people not to vote, and that's what pushes the other party to get all their people out to vote to get whatever party that was in office out. It's the same circular motion over and over again, and I'm afraid that Trump, if he does become president, it's gonna be more social chaos instead of him trying to get the country back together financially.
I think he's going to get around to that. But his first train of office is going to be, I got a lot of people to pay back because all these motherfuckers shit on me, got me out of office, continue shitting on me, trying to send me to jail, trying to do bring me up on charges, got me paying all this money back. Bro, we're going to have this conversation the day after the election in November because I promise you, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to shit on every Democrat that fucking shit on him. Watch. Mark my words, brother.
Supreme Court, Congress, gonna be all red.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Honestly, I'll leave with one thing. I have no issues with Republicans being in office again, or honestly don't care. As long as they can bring the country back, like the economy back, right? Please, I'm all for it. Like, if your main point or main thing that you want to do is get this country back together for everybody, then I'm all for it. But I know that's wishful thinking, and the future will show us what that holds.
Shouldn't ask the question. I got to ask it real quick. November, vote. Trump or no vote?
I don't know. I know for a fact I ain't voting Democrat. I'm not voting not necessarily Democrat. I know for a fact I'm not voting for Biden because 4 years we haven't done anything. Like,
yes,
I'm
sir.
hurting more than I did before Biden. And what really put that final nail in the coffin is when the courts really sided with the loan companies and rejected forgiving all that student loan.
Amen, brother. Listen, I got to give you a.
I'll just leave it at that. All right. Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. So, what I'm fed up with. So right now, I'm fed up with the constant, need to put microchips in everything.
Yes, sir.
Why do we need a microchip in air fresheners? Why do we need a microchip in our grill? Why do we need a microchip in our light bulb? Why? What the fuck's the reason? Companies all through COVID were making a big deal. Oh, everything has to go up. Oh, we have to stop supply chains because we can't get the materials to make chips for our cars, our computers, or whatever it is. But then you're putting all these chips, all these rare minerals or materials that we need to use for chips in useless ass products. I hate that. And it gets everything that I really want to buy more expensive because it's harder. For example, there's a number of us that can agree on it. Building computers and all these parts cost money.
Right.
Since COVID and since all that the supply chain scarcity with the chips, the microchips and everything, these parts have gone way up, way out of proportion.
Yes, sir.
A lot of us can remember with the NVIDIA processor chips. They released a new piece of hardware for laptops and PCs so you can build state of the art. But because of all the supply shortages, it was ridiculously expensive. And because of COVID and everything that COVID did, all these scalpers were picking it up and then raising the prices even higher.
Right.
So it was even harder for people like me and other people just trying to build their computers or just anything to get parts. Or just repair the computers to get parts. So a lot of people had no computers and no nothing. Same thing with cars.
Right.
These cars right now need microcomputers, need microchips in order to run. In my opinion, we're going too far from what makes a car, but that's besides the point. Because of all these chips being more expensive and harder to get, the prices for cars also went up too. Just to give an example, before COVID, I looked up the price of a GTR, 2013 Nissan GTR R35. I could find them from between like 35 to 50 G's, realistic, and like good builds, good mileage, no damages, no repairs, like good condition.
Right.
After COVID, all these supply chain issues, they went up. Now, a used first gen R35 GTR is still going for 60 G's.
Wow.
And the same car I was looking at like years before jumped up 30 G's. Like,
Damn.
because of all this nonsense. And it gets me so frustrating. Why do we need to waste all this time? And it's the same thing with AI now. They're putting AI in everything like you don't fucking need. They're putting AI in Microsoft Office. They're putting AI in like cars. Putting AI in like things that you don't need. It's so stupid. They're just
Way over
all
the
these
future.
companies keeps jumping on these trains when their AIs are trash. It's like Siri. It's a marketing scheme. It gets me so frustrated that people don't realize how stupid all this is, and they're just buying in and making everything worse for everybody else.
Ooh, that is
What about you?
unsafe.
What's your opinion on that?
Well, I agree with you 1000% because from the microchip to now creating this AI, like you said, everything you open now, they have. I was just looking at my computer this morning, and now it wants you to download from Microsoft the Meta.
Yep.
What the fuck is a Meta? I'm old school. I see Meta like, what? Can you tell me what the fuck a Meta is?
Every company has their own little definition of meta.
Right.
So Facebook's the one that really started that whole meta thing. And that was like them trying to make their own like VR universe almost where you can just go in there.
Okay.
Just like a lot of sci-fi shows and stuff. Now I think with Microsoft, their meta is kind of like an ecosystem. Like where
Really?
everybody can really join in and stuff. But we're also implementing AI into that in order to make this ecosystem live and work with everybody else. I honestly think the metaverse or whatever, is a good concept, but it's too early. We're not technologically there
Gotcha.
yet. With Microsoft, they're just jumping on a bandwagon.
Gotcha.
I feel as though there's no sustenance to that, and they're just throwing it out there just to see if it sticks with people.
So I have to ask you, do you believe AI will be the end of the world?
This current AI, no, because it's
No, not now. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when it becomes self-aware. I mean, we all watch these sci-fi movies where AI always becomes self-aware and realize that we're inferior to it.
AI becomes self-aware because we give it too much tools. 2, we give it too much information, and 3, we're demonstrating to these AIs how life is.
Right.
There's history explaining how the human condition defines life and how it goes by it. AI doesn't just know everything, it learns. In my
Magic word.
opinion, if we keep jumping on this AI bandwagon, don't really take it slow bit by bit, yeah, it might become self-aware. It might cause some shit if we don't put the proper safeguards in place in order to prevent it. I just think right now companies are just jumping on this too quickly,
Right.
too fast, and giving these AI all these tools, all these accesses that they're not looking into for the future. They're just looking at it right now.
Right.
Like I would say, if I could give it like a percentage, 70% chance it'll become developed. 70% chance based off our current trajectory. 30% chance it can turn around. It can fix up.
Well, let me tell you something real quick. I was just reading a story the other day about AIs. I don't know if you heard it, where these scientists created these 2 computers, AI computers. They were teaching them and they were learning. They learned so quickly and so much, they created their own communication. They were able to talk to each other. Scientists couldn't figure out what the fuck they were saying, so they had to disconnect them. It scared the fuck out of them because they were becoming self-aware, where they no longer needed outside communication. They could literally, I could tell you, you could tell me, and they wrote their own codes in order to do this. This is why I asked you that question, because if those two computers at this early stage have become self-aware and now can talk to each other without any input from man, what happens 20 years from now?
Yeah, we're giving them too much access, too much information too quickly without really properly going through the proper steps, the experimental steps. It's the same thing as doing an experiment. It's just people are too excited with sci-fi and all these possibilities that they forget the risks.
I agree.
But I'll leave that at that.
Sounds like a plan.